RetroCon 2023, let's talk about it. All right, we wrapped RetroCon yesterday, and at least from when I'm recording this, and I bought a lot of stuff. I went a little bit crazy, but the thing is, RetroCon only comes around once a year. If you're not aware of the show, if you're not a Greater Philadelphia area guy, RetroCon is, in my opinion, the best toy show, maybe period. There's a lot of shows in my area that I love. I love Scott's show next week, which I'll be set up at. I have a bunch of stuff I'm previewing on my Instagram, my Facebook. I'll be set up there selling a bunch of new stuff. The Shoreline guys throw a great show. Craig Dawson's Toy Dome's always good. I'm trying to think what else I'm missing. There's other toy shows in this area that are always good to go to. But RetroCon is by and far the best show. They had more dealers this year. So many more toys. So much stuff to look at. And it was obvious people brought more stuff for the second day too. It was great. So we're going to jump straight into what I bought. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but I got the Micronaut rocket tubes playset. I put a picture of it here because it's so massive. And this thing is awesome. The box is beautiful. The instructions are in there. The stickers are clean. It works, apparently. I didn't test it out yet. I'm going to, but the guy said he just tested it out, and it works. Nice. I believe them. That's the risk you take. Yeah, I threw in an extra time traveler, a special time traveler also for the pods. It's supposed to get shot through it. So it's an awesome piece. And it's funny, I was walking around right when I first got there, right when I got my, walked through my badges, before I even set up my table. I took a quick lap, and boom, there it was, sitting up there, and I had to grab it. I got that another Motu figure, show off a little bit later, in a bundle deal. But I bought a couple things. I bought, everything's like behind me. I got this awesome Kamen Rider figure. His wheel literally dry rotted in my hand. Well, it was dry rotting and fell apart in my hand. I still have it, but it's kind of beat up. But for $5, I was gonna grab him because he's awesome or whatever it was, something like that. He was something like that. And then my buddy Tom, who I buy from every RetroCon. I bought a bunch of HG cores. At least that's how I refer to them. They're just Ultraman, Kamen Rider, Godzilla figures, and they're all this big. I bought a bunch of them from him in the past. I have a massive shelf of them. So I picked up a Texas Chainsaw Massacre VHS off of them. And I also grabbed... I only got one HG core because I've been getting more picky and choosy which ones I grab because I have so many of them and only have so much space. But Ultra 7, funny. I forget this monster's name. I have the band. I have them right there, actually. But... this is an awesome piece for $5, having the dragon monster wrap around them. And I know it's not really easy to see him, but for $5, I was gonna grab this. And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, why not? It's always good to grab the classics, And I also grabbed off of them on Sunday the GoBots patrol vehicle. I know there's a name to it. I'm blanking on it, but it does have the interior stickers there. And he gave me a great deal on it. It was definitely a Sunday price. Am I going to keep it? I'm not sure. I got to see if I have the room for it. The stickers are there. The battery pack's there. It's in pretty good shape. It's missing the inserts on the inside. But it's in pretty good shape for what it is. So, I was happy with it. It was a great deal. So, I'm probably going to keep it. If not, you might see it at Scott's. So, I'm moving everything around in my room. And if it fits, great. If not... oh, well, sometimes you gotta let stuff go. You know what I mean? So, then I'll jump on to, I not only did I buy that Micronaut rocket tubes, I bought a bunch of other Micronaut stuff. I was on a Micronauts kick. There was, I think, 6 or 7 dealers that had Micronaut stuff, which is maybe the most I've ever seen from any show. It's one of my favorite toy lines. It's awesome. So, I picked up the Solarion, complete with the box. Off of a guy. I had a couple other box ones. I was thinking about trying to do a bundle deal, but I ended up buying a different bundle of Micronauts later. Try to get to that. But the box is in pretty good shape. The front's ripped off, but it's in there. Instructions are in there, and the complete Solarion is here. It's got the stickers. It looks awesome. It's one of my favorite vehicles, and so I had to pick it up when I saw it. It looks super sharp on the shelf. I'm actually, with the rocket tubes, I'm gonna try and... when you put it together, the thing's massive. It's huge. It's not gonna fit on a shelf. Not any shelves I've open right now. So it might go underneath the shelf there. I might move my Spectrum stuff over here and then try and make like a Micronaut city above the rocket tubes. But we're going to see how it works out. But this is going to have to make the city for sure. So I got a bunch of Micronaut stuff to fill out a city for the guys. So that was awesome. That was like a must buy. I picked up like an Ultraman comic that I just moved somewheres. I don't know where I put the comics. I only picked up 3 comics. Picked an Ultraman comic. Picked up the Blue Devil annual with a Just League Dark unofficial appearance. I just booked it for $1. I threw it in my sale boxes. And I picked up a Secret Wars issue I needed for a set that I'm building. So 3, nothing too crazy. It is not a comic book show. That's the one thing about RetroCon is I don't really go there. Like if there's boxes, I'll go through them. I didn't see there wasn't a lot of comics. Maybe the move is, if you're going to be there, bring some comics. I was going to bring some boxes, and mark them half off, but it just didn't happen. So I'm bringing them to Scott's show to play with this show this weekend. So make sure you show up for that Saturday of the week this video comes out. I will be there. I'm going to have a bunch of stuff. Picked up a couple other cool things. Picked some gifts for some buddies of mine, my father. I picked up a couple things for him. Picked up Shin Godzilla DVD for my buddy and some other cool stuff. And then I picked up some movies for myself. Some of them off my buddy Gene, some of them off so the guy I met, and I bought the one off Tom. But I got some classics. You got Zombie Lake, House 2, Second Story, The Sentinel. This is a great movie. Forward to rewatching that one. Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde, which I did a review on last October, so go check that out. October's coming up next month. Daily reviews, videos every single day, plus there'll still be some comic reviews. Chillerama caught my eye. I know of this movie, but I've never watched it. Prison of the Dead, another one I know of, I've never seen. So we'll watch now. And then the last couple of them, this one was actually mine. We just got a back countdown to Doomsday. This movie is ridiculous. We got Death Race 2000. One of my favorite lines of all time is from I reviewed this one back in the day as well on Facebook when I was still doing that. If I'm not misquoting it, Sylvester Stallone goes to his girl. He's like, some people think you're cute. I think you're one baked potato. Sure, whatever. It's just a classic line. Kind of always makes you laugh. Kappa, great movie. Ninja Strike Force. This is awesome. It's Ninja Strike Force. What more can you ask for? And then round it off, Parts of the Family. I was reading in the back. Trim movie. Caught my eye. And Johnny Sacco and his flying robots. The complete season. Was it 2 seasons this show, right? Something like that. I don't know. It's just complete 4 seasons. This is obviously a bootleg. I don't care. Johnny Sacco is awesome. So, I think paid $3 for it. Okay, I'll grab it. So, then on day 2 off One Man's Junk, I picked up one of the Metal Men. This is Major Mercury. He's an awesome figure. It's kind of hard to see if I can get it to focus on him. If it wants to. He's got the American flag on his back. He's really clean. His boots are really clean. His head's really clean. The cleanest one I've ever seen. And I picked it up with a saucer from the line. I never see these are impossible. The vehicles from this line are impossible. The figures are already pretty tough, but this thing's in pretty good shape. So, and I love that. I don't know if this is actually how the saucer goes, but there's like a bread tie for a seatbelt, which is just awesome. So, I picked that up off of One Man Junk. And some other cool stuff. Check out my Instagram, and I posted some other stuff I didn't pick up. Some dropping things. I posted a bunch of stuff I didn't pick up, took pictures of, and I talked about some more stories about how I found some stuff and bought some stuff and guys I ran into, whole 9 yards. So he had like a Tomb of Doom and a bunch of other cool stuff at his table. Then I rounded out a toy line that I'm hunting for a decade. And I finally just got the first one within a year. If you go back to one of my first couple of hauls, I had picked up the Orochi 8-Headed Dragon Bandai figure off of Scott, and then the next was Scott's following show. I want to say it was at the shows where I picked up 2 more of the figures, and I got another one. I don't even remember. I got them all in the last 12 months. I've gotten all 4 of them, and this is the final 5th figure. Muba the Water God from Orochi. The only thing I'm missing now is the one figure's missing a tusk, and the other figure's missing a sword. I don't care. I remember as a kid, I probably told the story before. As a kid, I went to this guy's house. He was selling out of his private collection. And one of the few things that he wasn't selling was the 5 figures from the Urachi Bandai line. And Yamato Takura, I believe, is the name of the line. And I fell in love with him. I really didn't see him since. I mean, Scott had that Urachi for a while, and then eventually he sold to me for super cheap after he had it for a while. I remember seeing it at a store, but other than that, I've only ever seen and technically, including that one, because I now have it, I've only ever seen the ones that I've bought since then. And that was, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, something like that. So, ecstatic to pick this up. This was one of my favorite buys. Probably top 5 buy of RetroCon. I bought a lot of stuff. We're still getting to some of the good stuff, but this was a great buy. I mean, I bought only good stuff. There's no buys I regret here. So, then, shout out to my buddy Sal. I picked up a Hellraiser Surgeon off of him. I got to pop this guy open, but he's one of the handful of Hellraiser figures I still need from this line, and he's got the part of the tower with Pinhead's face on it from, is that 3? Is that Hellraiser 3 that the Pinhead's face is on the thing? I can't remember. I think it's 3. But, yeah, it's just cool. So I got that. I got my display back there. I don't know if you can kind of see it right there. I really should. I'm working on doing an office tour. I actually just cleaned up, and I think it's one of the next I'm going to record is an office tour. And so you see a little bit of my Hellraiser display on I believe it's the San Diego Comic-Con diorama and all that. So he'll be in there by then. And then I picked up some loose figures. So one guy I was talking to about some like Motu and Thundercats and stuff like that, and I bought this guy off. He's incomplete, but he works. You know what I mean? Because I'm working on building back my Motu collection. I've sold some. I still have a couple of my originals, and now I'm working on. I don't want all the Motu figures. I just want the ones that I like, and get a couple play sets and do a little setup over there next to my shelf, if I can make it work. And I throw some of the Thundercats figures because they're similar scale and they kind of work. So I bought this, and the guy was like, "Oh, I've got a couple of them that are like a little bit beat up. They're color matched or whatever. Or they're not color matched, but they're like strange colors." And so I picked up these 2 guys for it was like $1 a piece or something. So why not? They're just cool, like, you know what I mean? And kind of like Varian and Munkin. And so they will make the He-Man diorama display, whatever I do. And I also picked up off of them this, I think a Mexican knockoff Spider-Man. He doesn't have any markings on him. He feels old. The plastic feels old, but who knows? But I believe, if I remember correctly, because I've seen these before, this is actually, ironically, predates Miles Morales, and it has that same black and red. I might actually own one of these. I don't know. I gotta look. I've got, maybe it's in locked away in totes, or I don't know. But same thing, he was like $1 or something. I don't know. I just grabbed him. And then another guy had stuff for $5. And I bought, my buddy of mine bought a bunch of Marvel Legends McFarlane figures to kind of toy with off the guy. And I got this Black Star figure. His arms got spray painted or something, but for $5, whatever, why not? And I love this line. There's another one where I'm just gonna put him with He-Man figures until I finish out the Black Star line, and then I'll just have my Black Star line together. I might have a couple other figures. I gotta look. There's so much. And then out of some of the Motu figures we're gonna, I got Whiplash here. He's got a little paint wear on his face, but. And this guy was all kinds of tangled up. I got him untangled, but it took me 20 minutes. I was at the guy's table untangling him, and then it was a buddy of mine, so he told me to just take it back to my table if I wanted it. So I was back at my table trying to untangle this thing for 20 minutes, and I kind of got it. Of course, got a little bit tangled up sitting in this box here. I hate the fact that the string is so long in this guy, and the thing is, the knot is now I got it down to untangled, and there's one final knot around his core. So it's just kind of beat, unless I cut the string, which I don't want to. So either way, he's complete. He's got his stuff, and his gun is in here somewhere. Here's his gun. Here's his gun. So he was complete. So they'll display fine. You could barely even tell the strings goes down into his core and out the side. Who cares? Many faces for $10 complete with his gun. Why not? He's pretty clean. His all three of his faces are there, nice and clean. Obviously they're there, but I've always loved many faces. He's one of my favorites of the line. And his legs are a little bit janky, but I can still get him to stand. But I think I'm gonna get stands for all the Mo 2 guys, just make it easy. I've got a couple other guys, but some of them are like over there and with the strings in front of them, so they can't fall forward and stuff. I had to find the samurai guy. I forget his name. I have him around here. I just refound my Grizzlor, my Moss Man, and a couple others. So, and then I got Zodak thrown in with the Micronauts rocket tubes. So he's pretty nice. He's pretty clean. He stands. Of course, I can't get him to stand right now, but he stands. He's got his gun. So I got him thrown in on the deal. So he's awesome. I had to pick him up. He's just. I want to get a chair actually for me, like that, like floating throne, kind of like he's Metron from DC. That's always remind me of his throne there. But that was awesome. I had to pick those guys up. And then I picked up, actually, funny enough, and I kind of talked to this on Instagram briefly. And if you saw it, it's coming up. I went to go Friday night. My buddy left. My buddy Panther Comics went to go set up part of the table. I went to my other buddy's house to go load up in my car, and then we were going to set the rest of the table in the morning. Well, my other buddy's house, he's got one of those Vader cases. He's got a bunch of loose Kenner figures in there. And originally he was going to sell for $5 a piece. I grabbed a couple of them. And of course, it's my buddy, so we made a good deal. So, another Kenner Stormtrooper. His stickers were really clean, so I grabbed him. The Snow Trooper, one of my favorites. And of course, I'm working on a Death Star. It's actually built, it's massive. I'll do a video on that eventually. And I believe this is the Hoth Luke, if I'm not mistaken. This is the Return of the Jedi Luke. I don't think it's the head mold variant, but who cares? Real clean, 8D8, super clean. And then a clean Walrus Man Ponda Boba. Cleaner than mine, so I grabbed him. But in there, and mind you, he's not a Star Wars guy, so he didn't know. I was a little bit disappointed though, because he's a toy guy. He should know what this is. In there, in the figures he was selling for $5 a piece, was the infamous Blue Snaggletooth. Top 5 all-time Star Wars figure. One of the most sought-after action figures of the 70s and 80s. The Blue Snaggletooth is infamous figure. One that I've been chasing forever. Ever since I've been collecting, I've been chasing one, trying to find one, and he just had it. Obviously, I paid him more than $5. He's my buddy. I'm going to do right by him, but he still did me a great deal. And he had no idea what it was. I pulled it out. I was like, oh, my God. And he just shrugged. But ecstatic to have this in my personal collection. He's probably going to be on the desk or right there or something. I don't know. I got to figure out where I'm displaying him. He's not going to go in the Star Wars room. He's going to be in the main office right here. But man, and he's pretty clean. His boots are pretty clean. He's got a little smudge there, but his boots are pretty clean. His face is super clean. So is his like medallion on his chest. His hands are clean. His fingers. He looks amazing. So I was ecstatic to have him in the personal collection. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. And that is one of the best things I picked up. I haven't decided if this one or the next, second to next one, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the best pickup. But that's up there. So I'm glad that, no offense, nobody out there grabbed it for $5. So this guy's awesome. Super ecstatic to have him. So it's funny, right when I was packing up, I was getting ready to leave, and I walked by and I saw this. I might have been walking around for 2 days. And I didn't walk around a lot the first day. I walked around the beginning of the show and a couple times during the show, but not much. And then the second day, we sold our table, and then I got more time to walk around. Then eventually I went to go pack up some of the stuff, some of my buddy's stuff that didn't sell out, and which wasn't much. We sold pretty much everything. And this caught my eye. I love the Adventure People line. I love the Adventure People Space line specifically. That's what I collect. And I have a couple of, I'm trying to find the blue guy I have, but I have the robot with the claw hand right there. Downstairs I have one of the drivers in the cantina in the Star Wars room. I'll show you my Instagram to see what that cantina diorama looks like. It's insane. But it's caught my eye, and I was literally like walking in and out, and I was just like, last second buy, it was perfect. I grabbed the Alpha Star. Now, they didn't do any play sets, but they did this massive vehicle. It's missing its antenna and something else that's small, but I don't even care. But like the two cars click together, but I'm going to leave it unclicked for now, just because I only have so much space. But this is car number 1. Super clean. The stickers are still there. Alpha star. We got the driver right here. He's pretty nice. Pretty good condition. You know what I mean? This thing moves the wheels. This, I don't even know what this does. These buttons here, I'm not even sure. So we got the driver in there. And the other car, the second car, is awesome. This side, there is an alien. There's an alien monster right there. So that was pretty cool. And then, oh, this thing keeps popping off. And then if you turn around to the back, and I release this, the little robot dude pops out. So it's got 3 figures with it. And this awesome vehicle. I had to pick it up. I couldn't leave it there. And so I'm actually working on the Alpha, I believe it's Alpha Probe, right? Is the spaceship. I'm gonna grab one of those, another vehicle, and I'm trying to do the just the space ones. The Adventure People line, all of them are cool, but I'm just trying to stick to the space ones. They're up my alley. They kind of work a little bit in my head with the Micronauts too, funny enough. But I don't know if they're gonna, there's be enough of that line, especially after the ones I'm gonna buy in a week or two. It might need its own shelf. I need find more shelving because I was gonna I have the Pepsi R2 unit. I was gonna put it in the Star Wars room and save myself some space. But I don't know. I use them as storage for like bags of figures that I kind of need up here, so, and parts and stuff. But moving on to the last thing here, I actually bought 3 of these, and the last time I saw them was at ZoloCon 2 years ago. There was one in pretty much I think the same condition as the one I have. The guy had 200 on it. And there's another one, and he had one extra thing in his crown, and he wanted 400 for it. Well, I got it for $40. This is an Argentinian Shogun warrior. This thing is awesome. It's got the purple top. He's got the horns. He's got the extended legs. He is amazing. I actually bought 2 of this guy. One with he had a green top and non-extended legs, and the other one was actually a different figure. He's not as cool. And after I bought the 3 of them for 100. And then afterwards, I intended to buy the other one because my buddy wanted it for his store. And so I did a bundle deal to get it for him. And I really didn't want the other one. After I bought it, I had a little bit of like buyer's remorse, I guess. But I mean, look, I really don't because I got this out of it. So I gave him the other 2 and we're going to figure it out later, whatever we're doing with them. But this thing's amazing. This is awesome. His fists do fire. They do fire. Although, I don't know. I don't even see the... Oh, popped right out there. I don't even see the release for it. But I fired the other one's fist. Maybe this one's fist doesn't fire. Or the mechanism's stuck. The mechanism don't be stuck. But either way, it doesn't matter. I'm not shooting him. He's awesome. He's pretty stellar. I was ecstatic to pick him up. So overall, one of the best RetroCons to date. I mean, look at this lineup of just like... Oh, you know what? I'm not even done. I just realized I forgot something else. But I'll show you. Look, some of the best stuff I picked up was, it was awesome. We got the Metal Man. I got the Shogun Warrior. I got the Blue Snaggletooth. I got a bunch of Motus. I got Thundercats. I got Micronauts. I got the last figure in the Orochi wave. I got a lot of awesome stuff. But it is not over. My buddy Brian, I believe his YouTube channel is Big Dog, if I remember correctly. He's got an awesome series he does. He kind of just records the show, stuff like that. Well, I bought a lot of Micronauts off of him. And, man, it was 9 vehicles, 5 time travelers, and on top of that, this massive bag of extra parts. I don't know what to do with this yet. I'm going to lay it all out, figure out, is there parts for stuff that I have that I could complete, is there anything I can complete out of this? And then I'm going to figure out what parts are what and try and keep track of that. And maybe I'll go to flea market, stuff like that, try and find those vehicles and piece them together with those parts if I can manage to keep track of it. If not, it's Micronaut parts. How often do you see bags like that of Micronaut parts? Same thing like Micronauts, Shogun Warriors. Like, when do you ever see parts of them anywhere? It's like the diecast ones. You never see just bags of parts. Even like Motus and Star Wars. Like, it's all about the parts. And you don't always see just straight parts and accessories and stuff. But, I put together all the vehicles. I'm not going to really show all of them off. I'm just show some of my favorite ones. You got this awesome little spaceship here. This thing's amazing. It's just awesome. And then, some awesome time travelers. I mean, this guy's pretty cool. the die-cast guy, which I feel like this chest actually goes to a different one, but it looks fine. And, you know, some of them aren't in the best condition, some are a little worn, but it doesn't matter. Look, I got the city, you know, we're doing it. We're making it big, you know, but I got the little race car. We got the bike. I've got 2 of the bulldozers, one with instructions. I've got more actual Micronaut time travelers. I've got 3 variants of the Alphatron. One piece here is actually a little bit busted. This guy's a little bit busted, but maybe I could find the parts for it to fix it up. But again, I bought 9 vehicles, 5 time travelers, and a massive bag of parts. I am ecstatic about that, and that's adding to the Micronaut City that might go behind me. Maybe. It feels weird at the bottom of the horror closet, but it's the last big shelf I have without going into the Star Wars room, which is already pretty packed, and it's Star Wars, so you don't want to overlap too much. So I'm kind of figuring I might put shelves down below I've got a Godzilla display right here. Again, I'll show off an upcoming office tour video, and I'll do the Star Wars room when it's completed, but it's not completed at the moment. But I might throw in a little thing with the Cantina diorama. But man, I mean, look at this. This is just a couple of things that I bought. I mean, you still got the GoBots, you got the rocket tubes, you got, you know, the Thundercats, the Surgeon, the Adventure People, Irachi, the Metalmen, Motu, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Ultra 7, the movies. Yeah, I bought a lot of stuff. Definitely the best RetroCon I've gone to for buying. Some great selling. We left with nothing. I mean, my buddy had a couple of extra things left over. My other buddy had nothing left over. Came home with all new inventory. So, pretty stellar. You cannot complain. I had a great time. RetroCon's awesome. And I'm already restocking my stuff for RetroCon. Next year, I have a plan on what I'm bringing specifically and what I'm aiming to bring specifically. And, of course, I do other shows. So, and RetroCon only comes around once a year, so it's not like it's in 6 months or whatever. But I have a plan, and we'll see it all play out by next RetroCon 2024. But it's RetroCon, bitches. Hope you all enjoyed. If you aren't already, follow me here on Instagram and Facebook for more daily content. I post on here every single day with the YouTube Shorts when I stay on track with it. In October, it's going to be a full video every day, reviewing different horror movies and stuff like that. And I'll still have comic book and toy videos coming up. Working on like a toy video about play sets. Working on comic book videos, plenty of like, you know, diving into like the history of Bizarro and all the comic season. Oh, the main comic season at least. And, you know, I'm always doing hauls and stuff like that. So, we're going to a bunch of stuff. I got a lot in the pipeline. I also have the Instagram series, Tales on a Hunt, where I talk about going out and looking for the books, gotten the toys and all kinds of stuff, guys I ran into, stuff I didn't buy, stuff I saw, people I met, people I already know, stuff like that, shows I went to. So, follow me on Instagram for that, and also more stuff that I post there. Facebook, more, same thing. Facebook or Fandoms Unleashed for daily content, behind-the-scenes look at Connor's comics, polls for upcoming videos, discussions about comics, movies, games, whatever. So, there's all kinds of stuff to check out. Daily content on all 4, check out all 3 or whatever. It's all down in the description below. And until next time, peace.